Notice the black car stopped there. The driver is waiting at the agreed spot to sell a phone he listed online. But the person who shows up isn't a buyer. A motorcycle with two men pulls up, and the confrontation happens right there, with pressure to hand over the phone. The driver walks around the car as if he's going to get the phone, and in the tension, one of them fires a shot to intimidate him. But there was a key detail. The driver was a police officer. He throws the phone over the car. When one of the men bends down to pick it up, everything changes and the pair tries to run. One takes off on foot. The other tries to leave on the motorcycle but loses control and crashes. In the chaos, the officer retrieves the phone. One of the men doesn't survive, and his death is confirmed at the scene.
Now the scene changes. We're inside a restaurant. A man in a black shirt is seated, waiting, and according to the information, he is a police officer. Then a man wearing a blue cap and a striped jacket walks in. He comes closer, attempts an approach, and the situation turns tense. But the response is immediate. When the man takes a step back and creates a bit of space, the officer uses the opening and takes control. He tries to run toward the entrance, but doesn't get far and goes down, still inside the restaurant area. According to the information, no one else at the location was hurt, and the officer was not injured either.
Just after 8 p.m., a residential street. Everything looks routine. A family is walking calmly when a motorcycle rides by, seeming like just another vehicle. But seconds later, it comes back. The pair approaches along the sidewalk and tries to confront the group directly. But there's a key detail. Among them is a police colonel. The response is immediate. The motorcycle ends up tipping over, and the two back off in a hurry, leaving the area. According to the information, the family was not injured. Now watch closely. Two motorcycles in the middle of the street. One of them approaches with two riders and stops beside another motorcycle with a passenger. It all happens right there in the roadway. The passenger on the approached bike raises his hands and steps off, trying to avoid trouble. But someone nearby is paying attention. A man in a white shirt appears at the edge of the frame. The rider who stepped in notices the movement, hesitates for a moment, and then tries to run back to the motorcycle as if to get away. At that moment, the man in white rushes in and intervenes, preventing the exit. The other rider sees the commotion and takes off, leaving his partner behind. Shortly after, the person who was approached, according to the information, is a police officer and helps keep everything under control until authorities arrive. It's past 9 p.m. A woman is on the sidewalk with her phone in hand, looking at the screen as if she's waiting for a message. Suddenly, a motorcycle with two riders pulls up and makes demands for the device. She hands it over immediately, steps back, and tries to get away quickly. But as they try to leave, something unexpected happens. The motorcycle shuts off and won't start again. They try repeatedly, and the tension only grows. At the corner, a military police patrol car appears. People who saw what happened call out to the officers and point the direction, and the team moves in. With the exit blocked, the two end up complying with the order, and the situation is brought to an end right there. Now watch this movement. A car stops in front of a white vehicle parked nearby with the hazard lights on, and no one gets out right away. Then it slowly reverses, lining up with the parked car. A man steps out, walks around the back, looks around, and heads straight for the driver's door, trying to act fast. At that moment, the passenger door of the other car opens and a second man gets out as well. But at the same time, a house gate opens and a police officer appears. He notices what's happening and orders them to stop, but both ignore it. They rush back into the car and leave the area together in the same vehicle. It's 6:55 a.m., the start of the day, a street in routine mode, and a car is stopped with a couple getting ready to leave. Suddenly, a motorcycle with two riders enters the scene. And here's the key detail. It had already passed earlier, went to the end of the street and came back, so it doesn't look like a coincidence. The motorcycle pulls up alongside the car and the pressure begins. The driver tries to pull away to create distance, but one of them moves in and blocks her exit. At that moment, a man comes down the sidewalk at a quick pace, approaches using a truck as a blind spot, and tries to interrupt with a stun device. It turns into a brief struggle. The motorcycle tips over, and the two regroup, lift the bike back up, and leave the area.
Before 6 a.m., a woman is walking calmly along the sidewalk when a fake delivery rider shows up and snatches her bag. She runs after him and starts shouting. In the rush, he drops the motorcycle, gets back up quickly, and tries to leave while the woman keeps her distance, calling for attention. Men who were in a nearby garage hear the screams, realize what's happening, and manage to stop him from getting away. The woman returns, gets her bag back, and he is held there until police arrive. Security camera footage shows the scene. A man in a red shirt arrives on a motorcycle and parks. Shortly after, another motorcycle pulls up with two riders. They make demands for the key. He hands it over and runs inside a business to call for help. Meanwhile, one of them tries to leave with the motorcycle but takes too long and can't get away right away. People inside the business notice what's happening, rush outside and manage to stop him, holding him there until help arrives. The other rider manages to leave the area on the motorcycle they came on.
Now the focus shifts to a delivery rider. His motorcycle is loaded with packages. He's looking for the house number. Everything suggests it's just another routine delivery. Until a car pulls up beside him. A door opens and a man tries to get out with what appears to be a weapon in hand. But the delivery rider senses the intent immediately. He accelerates and gets away. The car driver speeds up as well, trying to catch up, and in the rush, leaves his partner behind on foot in the middle of the street.